What's up, guys? Thinking about playing a good old game called Myst today. Jesus Christ is King. That's the whole name of the game. Myst and Jesus Christ is King. Now, God bless all of y'all, and I hope y'all are preparing for the return of Christ. Let's get into it. I think this game came out for PC a long time ago. It made it for PlayStation 1. Big puzzle game. It's a really good game. Really immersive. Check it out. Everybody got a pen? Y'all got a pen on you? Give me a pen.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
Spooky. Alright, so this is Myst, baby. It's a book, baby. You know, pictures can say 1,000 words, baby. Pictures and words be saying thousands of things. What do we got here? Oh, the music. The music's good. Music's real good here. Let's see if we can get these settings here. Oh, wow. Alright, we got it. Jesus Christ is King, baby. Let me go that way. That's cray. Uh-oh. See a pen on here. I played this before, but it was a long time ago when I was a kid, so I don't really know. Topographical extrusion test. Water turbulent. What does that say? 40? Let's do that. Ooh, it almost closed on my hand there. Jesus Christ is King. The heck does that do? They doing nothing, fam. We got 67 water turbulent. Marker switch diagram. And we need that 47. But it's crazy. This session of Let's Play Myst brought to you in part by tacos. Okay. That didn't do nothing. Alright. Okay, click on new stuff, huh? Alright, we ain't got nothing over here. Can't go in this way. I think when I was a kid, I remember that ship comes up out the water somehow. Can't quite remember all the puzzles. Just remember this junk be opening up. The music changed. That's hot. That's a beat. That's that beat right there, baby. There's a letter here. Catherine, I've left for you a message of the utmost importance. Estás muy importante, Katrina. In our forechamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Atris. Okay. Okay. Marker switches. Okay, so we've seen down there that a marker switch are these little box thingies here. Okay, so there's one up here, there's one by the wheel. There's two. I'm gonna write it down. I got a handy dandy little booklet and a pen because this game, you know, okay, because like you gotta write stuff down or you'll lose stuff. And my memory's shot. Okay, that's three right there. That's three. That's one. That's tres. That's tres, amigo. Oh, I'm gonna hit that switch. I'm playing this on PS5, but it's taking forever to load. Oh, really? Hey, what's up, Wayne? Echa los buttons, Wayne. I bet you we can go. Whoa, okay. grab it. Let me grab it. Tell the freaking button, wait. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, get the little screws out, man. Okay. Get out of here. Get out of here. We gotta go count those markers. Hold up. Wait a minute. Dang, that's tight. What's up there when I don't look? It won't even let me look at the. Okay, marker. There's 3. I think I remember one of the bookshelves, yo. Whoa. Could you imagine, bro? What was this? Oh, the book way. The book way. The book way. A little fuzzy. Little static though, man. A little bit of staticky. What do I do with this piece of paper, way? It won't let me read it, way. Oh no, man. We're trapped. No, that one's blue. It says I'm still holding the paper. Jesus Christ is King, baby. I'm just walking around holding a piece of paper in my hand. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. So this book is white. And this book is red. I'm holding a blue. Remember the other piece of paper was red. Where did it go? Oh, it's on the thing again. That's crazy. Come here, Mika. Whoa. Hold on. Okay, it's red. What the hell was that sound?
Bring me a red. I can't see. I need a red, you must. Break
So he wants more red pages. This crazy man, this crazy local.
I am serious. Give it up. There is one thing I need to rescue.
Is that it? That's the same thing you said. Okay, so I'm not holding the page anymore. I put the page in, and now he's freaking hanging out. Now he be in the book. So there's a dude in the book. I bet you this blue one goes in here. Yep. Oh, I shut him off. What's this guy got to say?
You serious? Is that you? Are you? See you. Can I? Help me. Bring blue pages. Never. Pages.
That's weird, man.
I must have the blue page.
So this guy wants blue pages. The other guy wants red pages. The book wasn't working before I gave him the blue page. I bet you pages got ripped out of this book. I played this before when I was a kid. I seem to remember the pages. I think you got to find all the pages to get them out. Dang, this one a hell of a fireplace. The graphics, you know what I'm saying? The freaking graphic. On PlayStation 1, PS, PC graphic. Oh, okay, it's open. This map, dude. Oh, it looks like a gun. Pew, 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 pew! Whoa, hold on. Okay, if you hold it, it rotates. Okay. Okay, I remember down that hallway, dude, there was like a thing that goes up. Okay, here's another one of these things here. Another clicker, amigo. It's another clicker. We got one more. This one, mijo. Oh, here's another clicker. I see un otra clicker, way. Un plus one. Oh. that sound be balling, dude. Hmm. Yeah. That's like little generators. Power to spaceship. Ooh, what was that? Probably nothing. Feels like people banging on crap down there. Okay. This is probably that tower. That's like the boat. There's the boat that's in the water, man. Oh, I see the spaceship. There's one more. Jesus Christ is King, baby, and get ready for Jesus to come back. Ew. Okay. There's more of them. Okay, that's crazy. There's so many puzzles in this game. I remember when I was a kid. I think I beat this game. It's been a long time, man. Yo, guys, I heard there's one more. I heard that the United States has now officially entered the war with Iran. Dropped 3 bombs on them, and I don't know if you guys know this, but Iran and Israel have been bombing each other for a while now. And in the Revelations, it talks about how Israel will be at war with the nations around it, and you know, it's just looking more and more like Revelations is playing out right before our eyes. Be careful out there. Jesus Christ could come back at any day. Like, come on, man. Why is it taking a long time to load? It's on PS5, bro. This thing should be going, you know? Fast, rapido way. this? It's like a log or something. Okay. I know it's loud as hell, boy. Okay. The age. And it won't let me touch the log. Giggity. Whoa. Yep. No, I remember this part. This part's the log. That's the log. And you gotta use the steam. See, this is that log, man. Speaking of logs, judge not lest thou be judged, right? Or why do you see this log right here? That's the log. And you gotta get a like a match or something. I remember. You judge your brother, and you know what I'm saying. Why do you try to get the speck out of your brother's eye when you got a big old log in your eye? First, get the log out of your eye, and then you will see better to get the speck out of your brother's eye. So, but in this case, we need a match. We need a match to. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. I see it. I see it over here. Over here. Spooky, spooky. Time change. Remember this. Alright. We got one. Can go over there. Ooh, look at that. 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 Yeah, yeah. Ooh. What's that do? You just flip it like that. That's it. That's all you're doing. This is the spaceship. I bet that wire goes all the way to the spaceship. I think I remember that too. I don't remember none of the codes though. I think you got to get all these codes to unlock these worlds. That's what I remember. You go into each one, and they got a book. Speaking of the book that can save you, and books inside of books and stuff like Jesus Christ is King. Read the Bible. All right, so we did the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. Okay. Wait, there's more stuff on it now. Okay, there's a spaceship. There's this. Wait a second. I didn't touch the thing over here. Remember when I walked up and hit the switches here, hit the switches here. I hit the switch on this. This is the lake thing right here. There's the water. This is the building I'm in right here. I gotta touch some switches. I'm gonna leave that joint right there. I'm gonna leave that joint right there. Let's go see if we can get up in this tower. Speaking of tower, did you know that in the Bible, Jesus makes a parable that says, about a dude building a tower, and he says, first, calculate if whether you can build the tower before you try to build it. Because if you try to build it and you realize halfway you ain't got enough building it, you ain't got enough to build it, then you halfway built it, and then everybody's gonna think you're a fool because you got a half-built tower. So just make sure you can build a tower before you try to build it. In other words, make sure you can get it done before you try to do something. I keep wanting to say there's something over here. Let's see what can we go around it? Isn't that a switch on that wall? No, okay. Let's switch on the wall. Maybe I gotta shut it down. Okay, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Hey. Tacos. Alright, what are we doing here? What am I doing here? Man, look at taking long to load, man. It ain't taking that long to load, man. Okay, here's a book. Oh, I like that sound. Key. Book, key. Those remind me of those symbols out there. Alright, you remember in that observatory? Okay, I'm gonna write all these down. October 11th. October 11th, 1984. 10:04. January 17th, 12:07. 12:07. That's a long time. We were like looking at the damn stars from like years ago. 12:07. 5:46 a.m. November 23rd, 97, 91. 6. I've played this before now, so I'm not trying to trick you into believing I know everything, or I don't know everything. I mean, but I do. There's a lot that I forgot. I remember you got to put these dates in the observatory. Okay, I think that key is, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a thing. I'm gonna write a ship. Total with switches. Switch. Alright, so we're looking at the ship. I wonder if this tower changes every time you move something. So, just for the ship, I see a key, and a book. Okay. Alright. Write all this crap down, dude. Write it all down, man. So I'm writing it all down in my handy dandy notebook. Backpack! Oh, that's my little face I drew. See the dude? See the dude? See the squiggly? See here, I'm writing all that down. Total switches. And then I got it. Here's for the ship. I wrote down all that stuff. And I wrote down the key in the book. Let's rock and roll, baby. We're gonna figure this out. This game is balling. Yeah, I'm looking right at the ship, Hoss. Okay, so when you turn the tower, it goes right to the ship. I bet you gotta turn the tower. No, it doesn't look like it's up though. I remember you gotta get that ship out of the water. I don't know how to do that. I remember there's a ship in the lake though. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go make some food. Alright, I'm back. Let's freaking go. Alright. I wanna go listen to that message. I like the art style. This game, dude, it's really cool. Alright, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I've seen 8 switches. Okay, I didn't see this one on there. I don't think I started it up. I gotta come up here and flip this switch, I think. Like that. Then I think it'll pop up on the map. Didn't see that one on the map. Alright, so let's go down here and hit in a number of those marker switches. We should be able to find us another freaking thing you do. Let me turn this up a little bit, huh? Turn it down a little bit too loud. How about that? That should be a little bit better, right? A little bit better. You can hear my voice a little louder. Yeah, how about that? That probably sounds way better. A little bit louder, huh? Yeah, there we go. Now we're up a little louder. Alright, we got 8. I guess 08. Okay. How was that?
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly.
Yeah.
Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Achenar, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return. But if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, and erase this message after you viewed it, just to be safe.
Tower rotation, huh? He said erase it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to do that. Alright. I suspect Agonal. Okay, he said that tower rotation. I'm betting you every time we rotate the tower there's different dates, and we gotta look up the dates. Okay. Look that up. Well, Poseidon's pee hole. I mean, Jesus Christ is King, y'all. Yeah, put that thing up. An access key. Now, how do we get this thing up out of here, man? Okay, I think this one isn't on because I never got across the water. See that one? Well, I can't get across there. I need that time. Man, hold up a second. There we go. We're good now. We're good now. Let's go up in this tower and see what's good with it. Oh, yeah, see all the lights coming on now. Oh, you see the gear thing? When I turn it on, now it's working. Alright, so we're good back here. Okay, this one's for the observatory. Okay, that's for gears. We'll do gears next. Baby, go up in the tower and you look, man. I bet them dates change and stuff. Alright. Jesus Christ is King. I got some bagel stuck in my teeth, man. That's what I had. I had some bagel, cream cheese, peanut butter on it. For lunch, man. That thing was tasty. Okay, the sign didn't change. Okay, we are looking at the gears. That's good. And this thing loud as hell, man. Yeah. I'm trying to look at my levels and make sure y'all can hear me over that. Let me look here, man. Let me look here, man. Ain't loud, boy. Let's get around it. Let's get around it. Let's get around it. Okay, key in the book. Key in the book. Key. Okay, so this is the key. Okay, so the ship is, yeah, this is different. For gear, it's 240. That's probably that time we need at the other side. See, I bet you just like the ship is connected to the thing in the middle, the lake in the middle with all the signs. This is connected to, I bet this to that time we need for the gear house. I bet. All the way on the other side of the island. 2, 2, 1. Okay, but that's for gear. Alright. I bet we gotta do this for each one. I bet if we put that on the clock tower, we'll get in there. Speaking of time, it's almost time for Jesus to come back, ain't it? But this is what he said. No, of that date, no man knows the hour or the date. Only the Father in heaven. Not even the Son knows. Only the Father in heaven. Alright, I bet we gotta keep rotating this tower. We got the ship. We got the ship next. The ship, when I had it directly on the ship, it gave us all the dates. And those go in the observatory, in the stars. I remember we were looking at the stars, and we had to put in the dates. Let's look. Alright, see this observatory here? That's where I think we gotta put the dates for the ship in. And this gear here, I bet you we gotta put the time in right here at this spot. Now let's rotate this around. See the ship, this spaceship is connected to this thing. Now that leaves this. I don't know what this is. But I bet this, the tree and this are connected. I know it is, man. I know it is. Alright, the tree. Okay, the spaceship. Now we'll do the spaceship and then we'll come back and get the tree. And we'll get the spaceship. And we'll get the tree. Space. Alright, I'm just gonna write down all the entry codes for all of them. Word. Pretty creepy looking hallway, dude. Alright, we're on a rocket ship. Rocket ship. Okay, the book is just rocket ship. $59 volts for the rocket ship. I remember that was 59. I was at 57. 59 volts. Man, that used to be loud, dog. Thing loud. Wait, can I see my reflection in there? I don't even see me in the reflection. I see this thing behind me. I see that. Tacos. Trying to eat that taco in the background. Alright, we got the tree. We gotta do the tree next. Library. Alright, tree. Alright, let's open it up. Alright, we know it's pointed. It's a key. Alright, so this is for the what? The tree. 7, 2, 4. Okay, I don't know what the heck that means. Oh, yeah, there was a code box. There was a lockbox in there. Bet. Which one are we gonna do first? Which one am I doing first? I want to do the ship. Nah, I like the gears. No, wait. What about that rocket ship? Well, what about that tree, Daddy? Okay. I call this age Channelwood. It is a very different world, though it is exactly how I imagined it. It is still amazing to see with my own eyes what covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I'm eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I arrived here late and I must rest. Awakened this morning by a strange noise, or strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, it would change from deep blue to muddy orange, and from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water, and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level approximately halfway up the grand trees. It was very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them, and I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that they appeared even larger than it that the hut appeared even larger than it had from outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the throne. Creature. Oh, Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human, at least to some extent that he appeared human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise. Shortly thereafter, I was given to bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. As I suspected, the ancient creature is a human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble, but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself, what does that say? Told me he had not spoken our own language in ages. He had attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what it has told me. Many years ago, the humans and the tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt in the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. Then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophic catastrophe, not catastrophe. Hold on, what is going on? What do we got going on here, huh? What do we got going on here? Got my cord. I got my cord around the bottom here, the bottom of my chair here. Through this catastrophe. Moved into the humans who lived through the catastrophe moved into the trees where they gradually died out. Maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island completely from sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there, and the tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and sleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I had imagined from his frail body. Or more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out the door and off the narrow path high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto the lower level of the walkway and carried away. Oh, dude jumped off the side of the thing. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the blank creatures, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As this strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. Changed to dull green. So he sacrificed himself like those people. This morning I woke finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green for as far as I can see now. For some reason the water no longer shifts color. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon so that I may learn more from them. Alright, okay, well, okay, hold up. So it was blue, red, black. I bet this got something to do with, those books, dude, are freaking red and blue. I've lived on this world for 3 months, off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even beginning to learn bits of their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am... Okay, no, there's green now. I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Cirrus and Aknar, I forget the dude's name, overreact to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Obsidian Age. Is that what the Obsidian? That's what it looks like. Cirrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. Though the idea unsettles me, I know that the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of those creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to the request. I warn the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Chakti. I fear for their survival, and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Cirrus and Aknar here. See Everdune's journal for more information. Okay, so these are just journals, probably about those worlds. Like, okay, so the ship world's got to be a world. I think I remember that, yeah. So it's different books at each place. That's what the books are, and the keys open the books, and then you go to a different world. After watching Cirrus and Aknar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I could put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again, for a little longer. That's always different. Oh, look, where's he getting his pens from, dude? Like, this guy's got multicolored pens. The tree dwell. Oh, it does signify a change, though, which is pretty cool. Like, he doesn't add time dates or anything. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Cirrus and Aknar are staying. Staying behind again. I've been gone for over 3 days and have been to many different places. I had to tell Cirrus and Aknar about Pran's death today, and they were visibly shaken, although they only remembered her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Cirrus and Aknar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. Yeah, that W's weird, dude. They spent their entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and I am reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colors. Huh. So the creatures were the ones giving them. I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know that they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also asked if they can visit some other ages alone, though I will have to think over their request. I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine would also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. Huh. I guess that's it. It wouldn't let me turn a page. See, now they're all burned up. Yeah. See, this book is the one we just read right here, the green one. But it looks good. See, all these books look tore up, dude. What about this one? No, it's burnt up. It won't let me flip pages. This one looks good. I'll try this one. The Rocks is capitalized. Emmett was the first to live on the Rocks. He named them the Rocks because that is what they were, a group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This is where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far of a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks, for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon, Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day, while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Wilson! Was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least, that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still learned it. Feared it. They still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand, not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I had hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it. Anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is a much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. Lamp. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also, during the night I catch glimmers of light from the horizon, which I have not been able to discover if it is created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and the lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light toward the horizon, I might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they have the means. I return with many tools, and I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I have decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems not to be as secure as I would like. I have had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose me no real problem. This is weird. It's like newly created age. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished, and we are all proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then, Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art. What the heck is the art? That will have a more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think of this age as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I am going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, as so much planning is in order. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I did not recognize. Branch told me that it has never rained for 7 years. It has not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. They are all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials they have discovered. This is crazy. This dude pops in and out of ages. I think that's what it talks about with the books, man. Like the books. You go into the books. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them what things will be like here in another 10 years. Remember the leaf and the arrow, that cross and the snake. These are the things around the ship. Okay, we'll have to remember this book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's 8 things. Okay, the stars, the constellations. We will need 3 of them. Okay, we'll have to remember the constellations. That's the key to open up this age. Alright, we'll have to remember this book. Okay, I'll write that next to the thing. Book on shelf. Book. Think of, what is it? This book, right? Yeah. Okay. Right. Book. Shelf. Cool, got it. Got it. What's this one? It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly, I think. For some reason, I do not feel. Yeah, that's an A. I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh, and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet the strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north. Hotter than I would have imagined. It almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red long past the sunset. Dark reds follow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence, more frightening than I have ever experienced. I was awakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear for my life. I must remember to bring a Myst blinking book with me when I return. Blinking book, in case the one left there has been destroyed or damaged. I returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. I have been transferred into a barren and desert land with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently, the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of a horrible desolation. The hot wind, I remembered, has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I've found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head into a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly, the ground began to crack, and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Oh, wow. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Cirrus and Aknar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, and I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set, and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began today on the bridge, and the magnetic rod will work well, and I have decided 3 meters is not enough support from the beams, although amazingly strong. Okay, there's that spaceship. Has to be one of my most prized inventions. I am could never have imagined it come together. I doubt could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Completely fatigued, I am so happy to have completed. Tomorrow, I am leaving today in order to bring back Cirrus and Akna. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteors set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust. But the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote. Over the last over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age, to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. Alright. That's a piano. It's a spaceship. Piano. I think I'm just gonna take a picture of that with my phone. Yeah. Man. Back in the day, bruh. Back in the day, that was harder. You had to write all that down. I remember writing that down. I remember it taking a freaking while, too. That's a key to get into this place. It's a topographical map. Which explains elevation. Alright. I don't really feel like reading any other books right now. I get the feeling there's more. You guys listening? Is that what you got? Alright, this I'm trying to find cool books though. This one down here on the bottom looks cool. I bet you that's a good book. Just making sure though. Okay. Oh man, you know what that looks like? That's the chimney. But there's so many of them. That's a lot. Okay, so we're gonna have to figure out. I'm sniffing my pits, bruh. It smells good. We're good for another round. 106. Come on. There's a lot of combos here. A lot of combos. The thing. Alright, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this forever. Everything just keeps going. Okay, so this book is for the chimney. That's that. It looks like Bird Person from Rick and Morty. Jesus Christ. Okay. Alright, this book looks good. Okay, it's got the gear on it. Okay, let's read a little bit more. Alright. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from where my previous adventures. Okay. To a world very different from my previous adventures. And it was. The sky here is dark and gray, and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. This man has obviously been through very many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills, which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. The lookout post's attempts at peace were turned away and the sentries there were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said that it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I have decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save this civilization and stop the enemy's plan of destruction. I am excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea has sparked in my mind to provide the needed defenses for this people. I met the remaining survivors today, and I begin work on the plan for protection. After a short absence, I have returned to this age. With my 2 sons. I have returned to this age with my 2 sons. They have, as of yet, traveled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be a great help this time, instead of the nuisance they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon this old city's ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored, and I am very pleased with their intelligence, and their creativity is refreshing to see, as they work on some small projects of their own. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world, except for its gray sky. They detest the gray sky, and tell me many times they wish the sky here were like the blue sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between the 3 hills, which are now only islands due to a rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography. I began experimenting with on many visits to Apamere. It will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide sufficient protection for all of us. The black ships have come, and their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears that they have turned away in defeat. I cannot help but smile as I watch the boats leave. Well, I think I got an achievement for reading all the things. Last night, we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that the blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. Have had a healthy adventure. And seem to hear we have had a healthy adventure and have begun work on a new book. Weird. On a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe I have begun. But first I will have an extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the tide. I believe in my travels I have found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone ailments that they have long endured. I hope to return to the mechanical age one day and find the population growing and my fortress still strong. See the gear on the front of this book and the mechanical age. I bet you that's this age that we're talking about here. I bet you we get there through there. Though the sky may always be black, I am confident the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. Alright, it won't let me go any further. Alright, so that appears to be all the books for now, unless this one. No. There might be like one here or something. I don't know. I can't remember. Alright. So that one book was shooting us towards... Let's see. Towards this freaking thing here. Towards the fireplace. Right? And... yeah, that one burnt book definitely is this crap. But there was like 100 bajillion... yeah, that ain't gonna work. Okay, and I'm not brute forcing that, bro. I'm not doing it. Alright, I think we've read about all the ages. Let's go figure out what the hell he's talking about. I believe there's books, and you go inside the books. Which... okay, I think these guys are in these books. They're trapped in these books. Yeah, and we put the pages. They both want the pages of their books. Alright. Okay, we got... I kind of want to go to the ship age first. I don't know, that's the first one we did. Alright, we'll go here. We gotta find the symbols. We have October 11th, 1984. That's the key to open that age. So we'll pop in here real quick. That's weird. Alright, September... October 11th. 1984. And then it was 10:04 a.m. Alright. I'll just take a picture of that. Alright. And I will leave you guys just a second. I've got to go grab something real quick. Make a note here. I'll be back. You guys stay safe. Alright, I'm back. I figure we'll get these constellations, wrap up this video, and that should be it. Okay, so we're looking for the 3 stars here. That's pretty cool. Uh-oh. Oh my. Alright, January 17th. What are you doing? What are you doing, guy? What are you doing, guy? January 17th, 12:07. And we're looking for 5:46 a.m. Cool. Take that constellation, which I'll save it. Let me go ahead and get a picture of this Joker. Alright, I got one more, November 23rd. And this one is 97.91. Oh, wrong. Nine seven nine one. And it is 6:57 p.m. Oh, went too far. There we go. Get this constellation. Blam. That's the third key. That's the last one. Alright. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. You guys, been an amazing audience. God bless you. And remember, Jesus Christ is coming back soon, right? Alright, we'll see you in the next one.